Hello guys, welcome to this another video, and this is going to be the last video in hanging pawn structure. This is already episode 6, so we have already covered previous 5 games. If you have not seen it yet, kindly go through in my channel and please check the previous videos as well. And in this video we are going to see the sixth game, or there is sixth example I would say, of hanging pawn structure, that how to play in the hanging pawn. So in this game, what we are going to see that how black has allowed hanging pawn and how white blocked those hanging pawns very efficiently. And this game I have taken from 2012 Bartolomé Maquieja versus Holden Hernandez, and 2012 in Mexico City. This game has happened. So after this knight c6 move, here white has played knight into c6, pawn into c6, and rook to c1. Okay, very effective move, that immediately attacking the knight pawn on c6. And I was very surprised to find 8 games at the grandmaster level with this position, and black experiences actually make serious difficulties due to his inability to achieve that c5 c6 c5 idea. Okay, advance with the time. If you don't get this, then it will be a very problematic thing for you. Here black has played bishop into d2. Again, this is only accelerating white's plan. The better move was obviously to play bishop to d7, at least much better, with the idea of again white can play bishop c3, bishop e7, then again bishop d4 I can come, and then knight c3. The game will continue. Okay, rook f b8, and then here knight to a4 will try to create blockade. So a position to remember, that how to play in this kind of structure, that whenever the c6 and d5 pawn is there and there is a weak square in front of that weakness, c6 is c5 square. So we'll try to always bring our knight from b1 to c3 to a4 to c5 to land on that square and create a strong blockade. So white played, black played bishop into d2, knight into d2. Again, it is not the accelerating, because knight will come from here to here very easily, and it actually white has not done anything, and black actually giving whites his own advantages. Bishop to d7, knight to b3, rook f b8, knight c5. Again, queen b2 doesn't solve the problem here in the game. Actually, black played bishop e8, but what will happen after queen b2? Let's see. Knight into d7, knight into d7. Okay, queen c2 is obviously not possible, just don't take it, it's a blunder because of knight f6 check. And there is an intermezzo, and we'll take the queen next move. So knight d7, queen into c6, and again this d5 pawn is falling, knight f6, bishop d5, knight d5, queen d5, and white is having good chances to convert this advantage to a winning advantage, because despite there are multiple, all the major pieces are available on the board actually. So bishop e8 played by black, b3, queen a7. Now white has blocked both the central pawn, and these pieces are going to dominate over the board, and this c5 knight is going to harass black pieces for a long time. So here white has played e4, now permanently damaging the hanging pawn structure. Once the exchange will happen, then c6 will be permanently weak. So here black has played h6, rook to e1, d4, bishop e4. Knight e4 is also stable, but I can understand here the point why white has not taken with the knight. He might think that after this, even if they lose this pawn, maybe this endgame is little bit easier for black to hold, rather than if we can create imbalance with knight versus bishop, then white will have little bit better practical chances. So bishop into e4, rook to b5, rook ac1, knight into e4, rook into e4, and now we are actually keeping the knight on c5, and we have created an imbalance where the knight on c5 will always dominate the bishop on e8, and there is a big positional advantage which is actually turning into a kingside attack. Let's see how the kingside attack actually works well for white. f6, queen to c3, bishop to f7, queen to e3, queen to b8, rook to e7, queen to f8. Okay, black is somehow defending. So a4 attacking the rook. Rook has moved to b4. Knight to d7 attacking the queen. Queen d8. Rook d1. Ready to play knight f6 check. Strongly threatening. Okay, with the idea of rook to d8. Now, because of white has played a4, now if you look at this position, imagine the a4 has not happened, then the rook could go to d5 actually. But here this option has, the option is not available because white has played a4 and now the rook is on b4. Now again, if you try to take on b3 again, still this is some sort of still losing position. I believe queen can simply move to e4. This is already hanging. Knight f6 is a threat. It's completely lost. So bishop d4 has been played. Bishop d5. Even if you play here queen to c8, this still loses to knight b6 and it's a simple fork. And white is winning an exchange. So bishop to d5 played. Rook into d5. C into d5. Knight f6 check. Gf. If you play obviously gf6, then there is a simple checkmate. We would say queen e6, king moves and check this and mate. So you cannot take. So knight f6 check. Here again king h8 is also not possible. There is a cheeky checkmate which happened in the game actually. Queen h6, gh6 and rook h7. This game is over. But what will happen if you play king to f8? Then there is a simple queen e6. The idea is threatening checkmate on f7. You cannot take on e7 because there is queen g8 checkmate. And if you play gf6, still yeah, queen f7 checkmate. So from this game, what we have learned that black's opening needs some improvement. That hanging pawn will always be inferior if it can be blocked very easily by white. If you remember the move rook to c1, right? From this move, white was already saying that okay, I'm not going to give you the chance to push your hanging pawns forward, and I will try to create it blockade. And black's bishop into d2 kind of moves actually accelerated white's attack on the queen side to create the blockade with the knight. White doesn't have to lose any kind of tempo. White simply got what he wants to do, and black was completely out of the game, outplayed by very easily by Makieja was white. So I hope you like this game, you like that example. If you have learned something, please comment it down below. And if you have some suggestion for any kind of game or any kind of pawn structure, I'll definitely cover it up. So till then, if you are new in my channel, kindly subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.